If your retwist barely lasts a week, frizz up after day 3, or looks old after you sleep once, I got some news for you. There's a reason, and it's not your hair type. Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rochelle, and on my channel we talk locks, beauty, and everything in between. Today's episode we are focusing on retwisting and why your retwisting is not lasting. Now, the first mistake that a lot of people make is retwisting on dirty or oily hair. Don't get me wrong, okay? You guys know my motto over here. It's your hair, do whatever you want to do with it, right? But if your hair has buildup, heavy oils, leftover gel, dirt, and sweat, it is more likely that your retwist is going to unravel instantly, right? A clean base, meaning your hair, once you start to retwist it, the gel will be able to grip it. Your roots will stay in place, your parts will stay neat, and your retwist will actually set. So as we enter into 2026, we're going to make sure that we're using clarifying shampoo between every retwisting. When you use a clarifying shampoo, this is just helping the buildup get out of your hair. Another mistake why your locks may not be holding is everybody, and I'm guilty, everybody love to buy products based on how they smell. However, your retwist do not care about no fragrance. It does not business that this has peppermint or eucalyptus or rose in it. It does not care, or lavender. It don't care about none of that. You need to make sure that you have the right formula of gel, not just the right scent when you are choosing your product. That is another mistake that I have made when I was starting to learn how to retwist my hair for myself. I used to be out here picking up gels based on how they smell, and baby, it was not holding. Some good gels that are going to help you during this season are going to be gels that are either aloe based, water based, botanical based, have a clean hold, non-flaky, non-plastic, right? We want to stay away or avoid that gels that are waxes, or they have beeswax combo, or super shiny gels, or have a plastic heavy gel. These tend to give flakiness and they attract buildup, and they cause your hair to slip, so your locks or your retwist don't hold. That is a mistake that I made when I started out. As I told y'all time and time again, I started my hair with waxes, okay? And did that help me? No. That is one of the main reasons why my locks was not holding during the retwist, because I was using the wrong products. Besides the product, something that I've learned, especially when it came, and this was a part that nobody taught me and something that I had to learn for myself, a long-lasting retwist has way more to do with the tension that you're putting on it than the actual twisting motion, right? So of course your twisting neck technique could be perfect, but if your section isn't tight, isn't smooth, it isn't holding in place, it's going to puff up, right? So when I first started, because don't get me wrong, right, we always hear the thing, you don't want to put too much tension, because it can affect and start thinning out your hair, which is of course very important. But the tip is to make sure that you are gripping the new growth in place. I think I have a video on here when my third week retwist, and I believe is in that video when I truly was my first time retwisting, and I did not know what I was doing. I was frustrated, but once again, I was using the wrong products and I was not doing it properly. Does it take time and patience? Yes. Are you gonna get it? Yes. But your hands are doing all the work, not the gels. Now, when it comes to setting the retwist, what set the retwist? It's all about the drying process, right? If your locks aren't fully dried at the roots, your retwists are going to unravel by the next day. I know for me, whenever I retwist my hair, I typically like to have my hair air dry, so I'll retwist my hair earlier in the day and then I'll let it dry throughout the day, and I'll keep the clips in even overnight because I want to make sure that my locks set in place. And if you're gonna sit under the blow dryer, especially if you're going straight from washing your hair to retwisting, I would recommend you sit for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours, especially if your hair is extremely damp. At least an hour to 2 hours so that it can fully dry. And then I highly would recommend, especially if you want it to hold, put a style on it. Style is gonna keep that retwist looking nice and fresh even longer. And baby, I promise you, right? Your hair can remember everything and it can keep the tension. It can, you know, remember, all right, this is how a retwist look, but the way you sleep can make or break your lock. If you're sleeping on cotton, loose bonnets, uncovered roots, tight ponytail, your retwist can be destroyed by the next day. You need to make sure that you're sleeping either on a silk scarf or a satin bonnet combo. Tie your roots down flat. Don't sleep with heavy, tight styles, right? Me personally, if I'm sleeping with a pineapple in my hair, I am loosening that pineapple. How you protect your hair before you go to bed at night is definitely gonna affect how your retwist looks the next day. So that's why you might be waking up and you're like, dang, I just went to bed last night with a fresh retwist, and this morning you waking up and you look like you ain't had a retwist in 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? So another thing that you're not gonna like, you may not like this one, but you need to stop moisturizing your hair immediately after you get a retwist, baby. Like, water starts to unravel those twists, okay? Hydrating lift products hold, and moisturizers soften your set. So you definitely want to wait, 4 to 5 days before you start doing your fresh mist again, and only mist like the end of your locks and not your roots, because you're gonna mess it up. And I said, y'all know my motto over here, it's your hair, do what you want to do. But if you want your retwist to hold, don't be misting it. You just got a retwist yesterday and now you coming in today with a hydrated mist. Baby, how you expect for your roots to look neat for the next 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks or days? You get my drift. Another thing, if you really want it to last 2 to 4 weeks, as I said, you need a holding style. Guilty. My first time ever getting a retwist, I never got a style. And like 2 days later, my hair, as I said, I didn't know what I was doing. So 2 days later, my locks was looking like I ain't had a retwist in months. And I was like, dang, look at this. So some styles that really make your retwist last is gonna definitely be 2-strand twist. I love a 2-strand twist. Some pipe cleaners, some plaits, bantu knots, like, braided at the roots. But the more tension, the longer your retwist is going to last. But you cannot have these styles and then go in and still start misting at the roots. It's still going to create issues for you. So you want to be mindful that, yes, I'm getting a style as I mentioned before, but I'm not going to start misting the lock itself and not your root until maybe a week or so. And that's another thing that I think you also have to take into consideration is, okay, when do I take out these styles, right? And taking out these styles are gonna be up to your preference, right? I have went to a loctician's multiple times before, and the next day I took out the style because it was just too much pain for me, right? And I decided I'm just gonna do something simple for myself. So it's really up to you on when you want to take your locks, style out. However, the longer you do keep the style in, the longer your retwist will hold. Okay, y'all, so those are some mistakes that we typically make and the reasons why our retwists don't last as long, especially if you are one that is DIYing this by yourself. As I said, I'm a DIY girly, so my entire loc journey, I did everything by myself except for a few sprinkles here and there. And baby, trust me, I get it. But moving forward, our retwist will be lasting in 2026. We're not playing no games. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, share, let me know what you're thinking. Don't forget to leave a comment. You know we love community over here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.